So a lot of people ask me, what's a good way to, to get better? What are good exercises? And people say, life drawing, right? So I guess like a pen like this and maybe a mouse. Yeah, I guess. But that isn't really much fun, is it? So there's two schools of drawing, right? Like in terms of learning. There's what the institutions teach you, right? Which is life drawing from, I don't know, apples, life drawing from like nude models that are like not appealing to look at, and what else? All this other minutia and junk, right? So learning to draw, I'm not a talented person. If you've seen my other videos, you'll know that it was quite the journey for me. I tried all these and didn't work out for me. Um, Not that I want to go against the grain. It has nothing to do with that. It's just everything to do with I didn't understand any of that. So since I couldn't understand it, either my uncles, my people, in my family drew, they couldn't understand it either. So they just like dropped out on it. They just quit. Well, I didn't want to quit. I wanted to keep doing it. So if these didn't apply to me, I had to figure out another way to learn. So I figured out all these other ways. And it's weird because all these other ways that I learned to draw, actually, it's sort of similar to all this stuff. I'm just doing it a little differently. So this is what I mean. Instead of drawing apples and oranges, I can draw this little figure right here. I'm a big fan of Thundercats, and I love the show when it was on. And this is a form of life drawing. On top of that, it is a figure, right? And the benefit from having a figure like this is that you get to, see the bottom of it, see the top of it, you get to feel it, all your senses, right? When you have a human being in front of you, I apologize for the blurry video. So, we get figures and all that stuff, but we can't move them like this. In the end of the day, when you draw, it's supposed to be a three-dimensional object. And I have one right here. I get to touch it, feel it, and do whatever I please with it. On top of that, what I like about drawing from toys, and this is what I found out, is that it unlocks your imagination. See this guy? He's not expressive. He has not one expression on him. Can't really move that well. So it'll be up to me to do something interesting with it. So at this point, it's just my imagination that will go wild. I also saw this documentary about this kid. His dad was blind, and his grandmother did a sculpture of her husband who was blind, and he was learning to understand the world the way his grandpa understood it. And so he would touch his dad's face, his grandfather's face. Sorry about that, grandfather's face, and close his eyes, and then he did the same with the sculpture. And he's like, "Man, that looks just like him." I thought that was very fascinating. That instead of using his eyes to feel the likeness of his grandpa, he used his fingers, his senses, and that always stuck with me. I was a kid when I saw that video, and so I sit there and I touch, get the feeling of the volumes. I know this is silly and weird. I get it, but we don't do this to the models. I mean, you know, they'd slap me or something. But with these figures, you touch them, you get to experience how they feel. You know. And after I do a little bit of that, and I examine it a little bit, then I'm ready. I'm ready to go. So why don't we get started? Okay. So there's only a few things that I use. That pen. This dry eraser is really good. You can get them at Michael's. And this lead pencil. That's it. You can get these at the 99-cent store. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Alright. So let's start. So what I like to do first is, I think it would be kind of cool if, well, honestly, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So I guess I'll just start drawing, but ultimately I want to do something. So I'll do a little gesture. Let's see here. Can you see that line? Let me get inside a little bit better so you guys can see. Alright. See if this autofocus works. There you go. It's pretty sharp and crisp. Okay, so let's go for it. So what I like to do is, I don't know, maybe he's gonna take on some power or something. Now, I just do this for practice, right? I don't really just to kind of get the ball rolling a little bit. Cool. So then now what I do is from this, I usually get the measured shapes, which is his head, I don't like drawing the eyes and the nose and the lips just yet. Very different from lots of other artists. They say the windows are the eyes to the soul. Yeah, it is. But I noticed that a lot of people focus on the face first and they don't pay attention to the rest of the body. So kind of like like when you write, you kind of like dot and cross the T's later. I do that with the eyes because they're so important. I leave that towards the end. It's like the frosting with my cake. I don't do that in the beginning. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do that. He can be screaming. He can be, I don't know, taking in some essence. I'm not quite sure. Let's keep going. It's probably like high on a mountain somewhere, letting the gods know that he rules the world, huh? Just making sure I feel through the drawing and everything's good. Cool. Once I do this now, this is what I do. I erase everything. And what's left is like the essence. I know it's pretty cheesy, but that is what's left. It's the essence. Alrighty. Now I just connect the dots. It's interesting when I do these drawings. Earlier I was, feeling on the toy, and I feel like I can actually feel my fingers. Give me a sec. Okay, let's continue on. So let's do the rest. I like I like I don't like drawing digitally because it's just my preference. There's nothing wrong with being a digital artist. I mean, that's fine. I got into drawing because um I love to draw. I love paper. I love the feel of paper. I love pencil. That's what I do. That's why I do this stuff. I currently draw with Wacom, but people got to pay me to do it. I don't do that because I want to. I am kicking and screaming here, always trying to figure out a way to keep drawing. But the truth is, my drawing has been my greatest advantage because, as you notice when I do this, I kind of just go at it once, right? Well, it's the discipline. There's a time to be sketchy and gestury, and then there's a time to commit. And right now, at the moment, I am committing. There is no going back. I do things once, and I try my hardest, and that's it. If I erase, it's rare. I do it, but I don't. I try not to make that a habit. And sure enough, when I go digital, the speed's there. Like I kind of just rock it real quick because of my habits here. These are the habits that I've created for myself. I like teaching, so if anybody has any questions or want me to teach them, more than happy to take on that. I didn't have any real help. I've had people tease me, laugh at me. It wasn't the best experience, and I know what that's like. So if anybody would like to have any advice or guidance or mentorship, whatever, I'm here. I'll help. What I do, in my opinion, is not rocket science. I do believe anybody can do it. If I can do it, I sure can. I mean, I sure believe anybody can. I say that because if you look at my previous videos, you will see the way I used to draw, and it wasn't the best. And this by no means is, me claiming I'm, you know, I'm comfortable the way I do stuff, but I'm also, part of my job, what I do daily is I help people ramp up to quality. I'm kind of like a quality guy at work, and I make sure everything's done well. The only thing I want to probably adjust is just probably the way the hair flows. I can use that, it's fine. So probably just that. Alright, now it's time to dot the eyes, right? Just notice that there's not real expression in his eye right here. See that? So let's go ahead and give him an expression. He's like, Mumra, how could you? Right? So now what yeah, that still bothers me. Let's do this. So notice that his hair, see the design of it, how it just kind of goes up like that. I kind of want the same for my drawing, so I'm just gonna just do that. I should cover it. Coat. Oh, it looks like he has a little sideburn there. Maybe we can just add it in there. There you go. And I like doing this here. What I'm doing here is I'm getting the shapes down, like the silhouette. So you notice here that there's no real space for his chin and his armor, so I'm gonna make it right here. See that? Because the more negative space, the better. And we're after a strong silhouette. So even here, like that says ear. So that's good. I like taking my time here because I would say if I had a secret to drawing, it's definitely the silhouette and shapes. And it's cool because I'm doing a life drawing here on something that I enjoy. It isn't an apple, it isn't an orange, it's a little Thundercat figure that I enjoy very much. It's funny because I take my kids' toys and they're like, Dad, where's my stuff? I'm like, oh, I'm drawing from it right now. So I thought I'd share some, this really cool exercise. And cool. I took liberties here. I mean, this little thing looks like a little stick, so I thought it'd just be a little thicker. Thought it'd be kind of neat. And it's cool because I get contrast, and the drawing feels dimensional because I'm drawing from a dimensional object, So now this kind of like I go into another like crazy imaginative spiral here because now that I did that, I'm like, it would be kind of cool to see him do the exact opposite, like maybe a cool contrast from this. Maybe he's sad, So let's see what that looks like. So I'll just go at it over here. What I'm thinking here is I want the body to say I'm sad, not the face. Like I said before, faces, we sit there and do that first. It'll overwhelm the rest of the drawing, and it's not what I want to do. I kind of want the body to tell a story here. Could probably do something where like he got defeated or something. Maybe his sword's like here. It's like, dude, I messed up. I like how like ambiguous this can be. It's like one of my favorite parts because it's so abstract. You know, my brain goes crazy. Like, what can this be? What is this weird thing? Okay. I want the power to be here. This messed up hair. I wanted to feel it here, 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 and then here. There. See that gesture here? It's real strong. Real nice. Cool. Now when I erase it, like the essence will be intact. I know that sounds really funny even when I say it. I'm like, the essence, but it's true. They will be intact. It'll be kind of interesting. Give me a second. It's a little dark here. All right, let's get back to work. So let's draw this dude sad. You know, it's kind of funny because if you look at the eyes are all jacked up, you know. Oh, does it? It just looks weird from here, but that's okay, I guess. Anyway, like I said, I mean, when you touch it and feel it, it's crazy. You know, it's important to use your senses. Close your eyes. I'm closing my eyes now as I'm doing this. You know, and it almost like helps my brain map a 3D object. I mean, I felt it here. It's crazy, and you will feel it too. Like, anyway, let's go at this thing. This needs to be erased a little bit more. Give me a second. It's a disaster over here. Okay. Sorts in the way. So this is the design that says, you know, I'm beat up, I'm jacked up. You know, the cool thing is when I do that, I can just take a look at what's going on over here and be like, ah, interesting, look at the shape. We can probably get dramatic. Maybe he broke a piece off and it's like here. It's like, dude, he broke the Sword of Omens. Oops. Alright, cool. So now all we gotta do is draw the face. Well, let's draw the mouth first. Get all dramatic. Let's concentrate on the silhouette. See that little thing right there? It's kind of cool because little silhouette saying that's his thumb. Here, in between his toes, right? I mean, we can see a little gap between the toes. Kind of cool. Look at this little negative space. Ugh, love it. That's what I geek out about. Let's draw a little piece here. You know, it'd be kind of funny if maybe its little piece of sword was probably like on the ground, right? It's like sticking out like that, and it's broken here. Yeah, that would be kind of funny. Let's do that. Cool. Well, so my materials are not special. Like I said, 99 cents thing. See, it's like you can get a pack. This pen you can get at office supplies or Walmart or any one of those places. It's a pretty cool pen. And kneaded eraser and your imagination and a cool toy. And then what I'll do is I'll do something really cheesy. I'll do more. I'll add on to these drawings, and I'll put more drawings here, and I'll do them with you, and you guys can see how I approach it and how I think about things. And I'll make a video of just this, with me just kind of like turning it, or I'll probably just have it here. And I think it'll be a great video because at least this way you'll have a video of a toy, and you're doing live drawing. And it's not enough that it's a picture. It's even better, like just even if it's just sitting there, you know, like it's real time. So I'll figure something out. Maybe I can get a little disc where he can like turn and stuff. But I would totally suggest getting your favorite toy, closing your eyes, touch it, get the full experience, look at it, examine it, draw from it, study from it, and then do expressions, and you'll see that um, using your imagination to do things that this toy isn't doing will help you out a lot. I mean, just because he's not sad doesn't mean you can't draw him sad. Of course you can. Um, this took me a while. It took me years to get to this point where I'm comfortable with things. But I welcome questions. I like to explain my process, like to explain how I think about things. And my Patreon will have a high resolution scan of these drawings if you like it. And I'll have another video with just this guy in there. And that's pretty much it. And if anybody here seeks mentorship, please reach out to me. Cool. Well, thank you very much.